Government officials and private sector leaders gathered in Barbados for the launch of the CARICOM Resilience Fund, a new $100 million fund aimed at promoting climate resilience and economic growth in the Caribbean region. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley gave the keynote address, emphasizing the urgent need for innovative financing solutions to address climate change and build resilience against natural disasters. She called on the fund to mobilize at least $1 billion in private investment over the next 5 years.
We do not intend for this to be a Barbados bank, but we understood that if we wanted to get it off the ground quickly, that we needed to do the work. And we will now go to heads of government and to the broader region to encourage others to invest in this vital facility that is being established to help finance adaptation and mitigation projects in the Caribbean, in the Eastern and Southern Caribbean initially, but hopefully, if there is interest in the Northern Caribbean, in the entire Caribbean. Because if we do not have multiple sources of funding up to scale, we simply will not meet the race to being viable, insurable, and livable.
The fund is spearheaded by the CARICOM Development Fund and the U.S. Agency for International Development's Eastern and Southern Caribbean Office. It will focus on investments in housing, energy, transportation, infrastructure, waste management, and other sectors aimed at climate adaptation, mitigation, and resilience.
The CDF's core thematic priority areas that guide our development interventions within the context of the CSME include regional investment promotion and mobilization, human capacity development, business development and enterprise competitiveness, environmental resilience and climate action, infrastructure, community empowerment, and a special focus on agriculture as a disadvantaged economic sector. As will become evident a little later in today's program, the sectors that have been targeted by the CRF for resilience building investments align well with all of the CDF's core thematic program areas.
U.S. Ambassador to Barbados Roger Nias said the Biden administration has made addressing climate change a top priority and called the fund, quote, an amazing accomplishment, end quote.
The fund that's being announced today, this CARICOM Development Fund's Resilience Fund, will build on so much great work that's already happening, and also great investments that the United States has made and committed to in even the last year and a half. $100 million in development funding has been committed, another $40 million in humanitarian assistance funding. That's in addition to hopefully what we can help raise with this resilience fund.
The fund will be managed by Sangus Capital, a Caribbean investment firm. Sangus President Beresford Gray said the fund will utilize a blended financing model to catalyze private capital for resilient development in the region.
The way we break the allocation is into two groups. Non-official development assistant countries, or ODA, as well as official development assistant countries, which represent bulk of the countries, the member countries of the CDF. So you can see on your left, for example, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and St. Kitts, we will be allocating approximately 30% of the fund's capital to those territories and 70% to the others who are, let's say, your cousins who are not as well off. But at the end of the day, we expect to have a well-diversified portfolio across the region from a geographic point of view.
Officials said the fund exemplifies the type of public-private collaboration needed to protect Caribbean nations from climate impacts and build sustainable economies. They aim to finalize fundraising and begin deploying investment capital within the next year. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.